And I'm here with Loris.
Hello guys. Nice to meet you, Chris. Nice to meet everyone who tuned in today. And once again, we have another match between ourselves. It's the second time we will see two teams face in the top 8. So we're now currently in the bracket stage. We have only 8 teams left. And today, one of those two teams have advanced to the top 4.
So we're talking about Aston eSports and team running it down mid. And actually this weekend was very eventful, no? Wasn't it? Because
It was.
we saw SKT getting beaten by SSG 3-0, no chance. Like 0, Not even
During
one
these
game taken by the SKT.
Yeah, that's so true. And during these broadcasts, me and you were talking about underdogs, and that usually, at least in this tournament, underdogs did not perform so far. I mean, the better team on the paper won every single time, as far as I remember. And I was like, it's really hard for the underdog to beat a better team. But in World Championship, actually, everyone put SKT as the favorites, and now what did we have? A clean 3-0 sweep, by the underdog. So maybe that's what we're gonna see today, as Chris had already mentioned that we have Aston eSports on the left. It's the Russian team. And on the right we have team running down mid, which is the Lithuanian team, probably the underdogs this time, to say so.
But even though, some people, if you were quite following the Korean scene, could have foreseen that SSG is quite strong this split. So we had Longju being the best team during the split, SSG kind of being on the second, third spot, and then we had KT, and then somewhere there was SKT. Honestly, big creds to SKT being around, being 2 times consecutive world champion, but being it 3 times, 3 years in a row. I mean, I think no team can accomplish it. Not yet, not when the competition is so far.
Maybe you're right, but we already have the world champion of ours, so today we'll be stepping one step closer to having a Kings of Baltic champion,
Okay.
So, Baltic champion, and I guess the world champion is a bit different, but I think still there are some really, really strong teams, and some of them we are facing and seeing today.
Where we might see some runner-ups, because usually in these small tournaments like here, you can already see talent developing, maybe coming into the next Challenger series. If there's another
Chris,
split.
there will be no Challenger series anymore.
Okay, but maybe if they want to change up the whole system, maybe one of the winners of this tournament will get there. We see first pick coming in. On Tristana.
Are you surprised? I'm actually not. Tristana is a strong pick. She's a hyper carrier now. Both of the hard PL supports are open, so I think that's a strong pick. As the first one.
Well, I think definitely one of the strongest picks available. But
is
also
you
could have secured
maybe
something else. Yeah, something like Sejuani, maybe even oh no, actually it's not that good anymore to first pick jungle, to be honest, because usually the opposing team then already has the upper hand. If you have the bot lane, one either support or the ADC first, it's far easier for you to draft on the blue side, I would say. So I think Tristana first pick is fine here.
Yeah, I think from previous games when we saw the Aston eSports play, they had really good drafts, if I remember correctly. So yeah. I think they are really onto something when drafting and when preparing for the opposing teams, which we see already that 2 picks are coming really fast. So they already knew what they want, and now they have a hyper carry, the peel support, and now they have a little bit of engage with Jarvan. So I guess they will have some control mid laner. I would have said something like Oriana, but they banned it themselves. So maybe even Vladimir or Talia is coming in, or even Galio maybe. I'm not sure how strong he is now. Was he nerfed?
Galio? I think he had a small hotfix, yeah. That would didn't mean a lot, But anyways, I think blue side's draft so far already, Aston eSports, right? Like
Yep.
they have Jarvan, they have Engage already, they have decent bot lane here. They've really, they didn't show too much because they can still draft around the 2v2s. They didn't give
Yep.
anything away. So it's really not that easy for the opposing team running down mid to ban now. They banned Galio. Of course, they don't
Yeah,
want to
that's a good
have
ban. That's
the
a very good
Jarvan
ban.
and the Galio combo. So overall, I would say blue side draft really, really good here. Like, giving away that you have a Shen and the Sejuani first rotation tells you already, okay, they want to play around bottom side. They kind of want to play around the level 6 from Shen, maybe set up a dive, something like this. And if Aston Esports is smart enough, they can maybe turn it up a bit and like swap towards the top side at level 6 and like deny the complete dive. Like just saying
Mm.
this is a strat that many teams used, so maybe they want to come up with something like this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of strange that the Aston Esports banned Nar and Oriana, which would really seem to fit their team comp, those two champions. So now, as I said, it's pretty strange what they will pick. Maybe it's going to be Cassiopeia mid lane or Talia, as I guess previously, we will see. But no, that's the question. And now they picked Urgot, which I'm personally not the biggest fan of, but I think he was buffed recently, so I think he's getting a little better than he was previously.
So maybe the Na was a target then, though I do agree it would have been a really nice pick in this comp, but it's also like about they want to have decent follow-up. With Na you're kind of limited, you have strong side lane, but at the same time your engage tools are kind of limited because you have to
Hmm.
play around the Mega Na, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure with the finish of these team comps, at least in my eyes. First, the red side team, the team running down mid, has Vayne and Blitzcrank bot lane, which I'm not really a biggest fan of. One thing is that Blitzcrank doesn't really have many targets to hook like that straight up. Tristana is hard to hook, she can jump out. Echo, if you hook him, he can still ult out. And the tanks you usually don't want to hook, so it's not really the best. Only like Lulu and Tristana caught off guard is really good targets. Vayne also, I think she was buffed also, and she might be a decent
Slightly.
pick overall. Yeah, slightly, but I would still go with Tristana overall. So and
The
Urgot with
yeah.
Echo picks are also quite strange for me.
So the thing with Vayne here is that like you mentioned in this lane, you're really getting hard pushed in. So we're talking about the like huge deal that you have to CS under the
Yep,
turret,
yep,
and you don't have a range support, so you're all
yeah.
kind of alone in that regard, right?
I
So
mean,
they kind of have to play around the hook there.
yeah. And the thing is that Tristana and Lulu is one of the hardest tower pushers, right, in the game. So like the only chance that the Blitzcrank Vayne has actually is hooking someone under tower, avoiding the explosion from Tristana first, and you need to hook also, so you're really limited from which side you can hook. And they really need the support of their jungler, because otherwise, with not many good opportunities to hook, they will lose their tower very early. And Tristana Lulu is just going to rotate into the top lane or mid lane, break towers one after another, and this game will be wide open with Drakes and Heralds, right after.
Well, let's talk about power spikes because honestly, I would say that Aston Esports on the blue side here has the far better draft though.
I
Just
totally
be
agree.
just because they have early power spikes with Echo, Jarvan, and like Tristana comes in for the late game. Now Urgot, not too sure about this because I didn't see him that much, but I can already see that like they have really decent like level 3, level 4 round mid. If
Yeah.
they choose to play on Malsa, it's really looking bad for him, like super bad actually. Then Sejuani cannot really match these ganks. She has to like hope to get through the early game. She can choose to play around the top side. I think Shen is fairly strong as far as what we saw in this tournament as well. Decent Shen players coming in. So I'm not too sure about the Urgot. So for
Yeah.
Sejuani, we are talking about like she has upper hand in one matchup. Jarvan he can choose. He can play on bottom side, he can play on mid, preferably on mid, or he can choose to play on top. I'm actually not too sure if Urgot is like that strong, so maybe they win
I
the
mean,
2v2 on top as well.
I mean, I like at least what I thought is that Jarvan should focus on the bot lane, prevent the ganks or counter ganks, so to say. And Urgot, if he's good against Shen and if he can hold his ground and maybe be a nuisance later, even 1v1 him later, then I would agree that Urgot is a fine pick. As well, if he can dodge the Sejuani ganks fairly well, then it's a decent pick, because it's hard for me to say as I haven't seen Urgot too much too, but no, this game we will learn something new. So guys, stick around. We will come back in 1 sec. It's just gonna be a short break for our sponsors.
Let's talk about what both junglers should do in the early game. Like Aston eSports, honestly, I think they have super strong top side, so he should definitely play around their top side. Maybe even like go towards mids on level 3, level 4. They have like, if Echo is like really keen on playing how he plays the lane and how he uses his W, his stun as well, if they can layer the CC and like maybe force the flash, Malsa is like, he will have a super hard time. And also you want that because you have the TP in that matchup, so you can really play aggressive in that lane on level 5, TP back in, and then maybe like either choose to dive Malzahar or like straight up go for a really advantageous trade, and afterwards you will always have the pressure. So you're always free to roam with Jarvan. You can play aggressive on Sejuani, you go to a side lane.
I totally agree, Chris. No, this game is quite an interesting. It's hard for me to pinpoint what's the really team comp objective of the team running down mid. They have a Shen top, which is actually indicator that they want to play through bot, right? And this whole team comp for me looks like a crucial, either you hit the hook or not team comp, because if you do hit the hook, then you can bring the Shen down. Otherwise, in the bot lane you will never fight, as Tristana and Lulu is just going to look to push down the tower. So you have to initiate the fight and start the Shen ultimate in a fight where you engaged, which is very unusual, because Shen usually teleports when the opposing team is attacking you, because it's just more useful. You have the ability to counter gank, you have the ability to turn the fight around, and it's always gonna hit the target, so to say. Because if you start teleporting and you're not quite sure if the fight's going to happen when you yourself are engaging, then it's just lackluster. You can just miss completely, raise the ult, raise the top pressure, fall behind in few lanes already, like instantly with one mistake. So
Loris,
that's why.
Let's break it down. Let's break it down, because this is something I used to do with many teams before. You basically what you're doing, looking at the engage tools that you have, and also the big cooldowns. Like, we have Shen ultimates on team running it down side. They have Sejuani as a main engage tool. They have Malsa as some sort of follow up. Now let's talk about what our bot lane has to bring to the table. They have Vayne and Blitzcrank. Now with Blitzcrank, like you mentioned, the hook, it can be a engage tool, but not a really reliable engage tool, right? It's not really that reliant.
And another thing,
wait. This point is actually super important, because as a Sejuani, you kind of forced to play around your top side. Your bottom side kind of has to scale. Since the Blitzcrank is not a reliant tool, he also needs to roam towards mid, make something happen on Echo. It's super important here. Yeah, super important, actually.
The problem is that it's Echo. He has a stun. He has a gap close twice, so to say. And at level 6 he has a free ticket out from any gank or any bad situation. So I don't know. And the Vayne also on top of it has no peel. In the late game she has only 3 tanks and a mid laner who stuns himself when he presses the ultimate. So she will be on her own in the late game, and if Echo jumps her, as we saw some really good Echo players can one-shot usually the carries. No, that's gonna be difficult, and now we see the engage in bot lane. Vayne is already fairly low. Blitzcrank hooked, but that just did nothing, as Vayne had to use her heal.
And I want to mention one thing that I saw. This Tristana did not level any skills up until the point when the second wave arrived, to not push out the wave. Usually you start SE, and we see something on Jarvan here, maybe. Actually, he's trying to steal the red away.
Lulu. Okay. So he's doing an aggressive play because his mid laner is pushing the wave, so now he can actually 2v1 the Sejuani as he's level up. She is
They could've
forced
gone
out of her own jungle, so that's a red taken. And both of the mid lane and top lane is being pushed to the tower, you know, for the team running down mid, so they cannot come to help as they will lose so much CS.
They could have
So
gotten a flash on Sejuani there, honestly.
Yeah, they could, but I think they're trying just... I mean, it's strange for me.
They're
They're
staring it
just
down.
dancing. Yeah.
Well, actually, you can see the draft, like, early game is super hard for Sejuani to react to this because Echo always has the pressure early. So he's free to move to the Jarvan.
I mean, Echo should really try to push in even harder now as the face-off in the jungle continues, you know, and now they see that Sejuani is on raids. She will be flanked from the side as she sees the Jarvan coming, and mid laners are not in any position to help any of these sides, so it's literally one-on-one in the jungle as Jarvan decides finally to let it be and walks off.
I think this was really odd. Usually you would see like either Sejuani going towards the bottom side just trading the sides.
Yeah.
Or we would see that Malza would give up some CS on mid and they would just turn on Jarvan, he would lose flash. And that would mean...
Look, he's coming
actually,
back in
she's going for it again.
He's 100 HP and he has to use his flash, so finally the flash was burned and now the buff is finally taken. So strange.
And big mistake, they can dive top here. If he comes towards top side, they can dive.
Golems. He actually is taking golems instead of getting the skill. Is he going to leave the Crux and come in act? Oh, okay. That's just...
Actually, bot lane turning aggressive now as well.
Actually,
and they have no heal.
This is just a clear win for the, you know, for the blue team. And Blitz is in the face of death. Can he flash over the wall?
Echo's coming in.
Echo is coming, and now one final auto attack will yield the 2-0 lead for the Russian team.
And actually, like both solo lanes winning super hard, which means on the side lane later they will have a big issue. Actually, Shen turning aggressive 1v2 here.
Yeah, we saw Shen
has to flash away.
We underestimated Shen so many times so far, but they're proving
he has
something.
to back off. They can dive him easily. They're just waiting for the combo to come back up on Jarvan here. And yeah, taking the kill. Damn, he played far too aggressive there. And now actually,
another kill.
Honestly, now like sitting in this lane, 9 CS, without TP, has to walk up there. It's looking super like...
Yeah, super
I
grim.
would say bad. You can't say it. Yeah, super grim, super bad. Honestly, right now I would use the term bad because like from this point, it's super hard to come back. Honestly.
Yeah, and as we mentioned in the before the game, that Tristana and Lulu is really hard and really hard pushers and really great at it. They excel really at the pushing waves and tower overall. So the bot lane tower was first to fall, even though Jarvan was just 24/7 camping top lane with 2 dives. The tower still would hold a bit longer compared to this dual lane, which, as I mentioned, it has that great pushing power.
So imagine if Sejuani would not have gone for top, not contest her red, which was actually not her red anymore because Jarvan and Echo is just far too strong. You just go towards bottom side, trade the remaining camps from Jarvan and try to get to level 6 as soon as possible. Actually, yeah. Lulu is face checking here. Might die actually, no flash available, nothing.
Yes, the stun
TP coming in.
The hook. Oh, they're already in the bad
situation. They want to fight!
3v4. The Malza are alt lands, but now Sejuani is so low, the top laner took the kill and now the support and the mid laner are the focus. It's 2-0 at the moment. And this fight has broken up. And it's clear favorite for Aston eSports actually.
And actually, as my voice rose, I thought actually that maybe we see something from team running down mid because at this point it wasn't a good time to fight. They had a face check from Lulu. Actually, Malza has to flash away here. Really nice. They play super good around the dives, honestly. So it's either that they scrim or either that they have a really good preparation before. I see clear they wait for the combo from Jarvan. They follow up on it, they layer the CC perfectly. Really nice actually.
Yeah, and Echo was ulted by Malzahar and it only took I think less than half HP, so it's not even a threat now. And they have already 3 towers broken, it's 5,000 gold lead at 8 minutes, it's getting to a point where it's no return, so to say. So we will see if they can turn it around at some point somehow.
And this Urgot actually, I think they changed the champion so you deal more damage with your legs or something like this. It's a really cute mechanic, I would say. Champion getting cuter every patch. He actually got
sure
2
this
more
is the
legs, I
champion
think.
you would call cute, but okay, Chris. And now I see the Blitzcrank Rome. He wants to turn this champion into something useful, and I'm just not seeing it. Like,
I think it's a bit too late for that, my friend.
yeah, and now imagine you have other support. You still would have a chance to come back in a fight or something, and now it doesn't matter who you hook, you're not gonna kill. As now we see Tristana being engaged on. Can he land the hook? He does. Will it be a kill? Actually, I think it will. First kill for the Lithuanian team running down mid, but they will exchange for 2 deaths, for that Tristana kill, which I don't think was worth it at all.
Actually, it's a bit too late for that. Like, if they would have done that, like, let's say 4 minutes ago, like a really sneaky gank, or maybe 3-man gank towards mid or something like this, maybe try to get the TP or a flash on Echo, so he has a bad laning phase, I would have said that this would have been a good play, but right now, at this time, it's just too late. Looking at the vision, they don't have the vision for that. Look at bot side, we see 3 pings, so much vision.
They are copying the Samsung style, just putting pings all over the place, having 5 pings in like everyone's inventory. I mean, maybe it's not at that level, but they surely play really well around vision, the Aston eSports. And the red team actually only has vision in the top side of the map, while the Drake is the main objective. You can't even come anywhere close to even check if it's being done.
Actually, Echo wants to play aggressive on lane here, goes
the stun
in.
misses, but now the combo, he needs one more auto attack. Yeah, it was really close. The Vayne now turns around, she has the ult. One more auto attack would have finished the
Actually,
Jarvan
Tristana
too.
being caught on mid here?
Like,
Actually,
everyone is...
action everywhere again.
Yeah, these games usually tend to be focused on all of the fronts. People don't respect that the fight is happening on the other side of the map. They still try to fight themselves anywhere, so to say. So we'll see. But now Shen is actually out of position. He uses his taunt. He tries to block some auto attacks, but I think it's gonna be all in vain as Urgot doesn't release him. He still has his ult, but probably won't need it. As I say it, he uses it and finishes the
Shen comes in and face melter getting the kill on Shen. Actually, what a nice name to play Urgot here. He's just
Face
melting
melter?
Shen's face, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, the Shen used his flash actually, which probably was a waste, I would say, as it exchanged the flash for the ultimate, and usually it's totally not worth it. As Shen is one of the the follow-ups after Sejuani, especially the flash. Probably not when you're so behind, but still, it's a reliable tool to follow up on the CC.
So the thing is with Aston eSports comp, and like right now it's the point where you see actually the superiority, I would call it like this, I hope that's proper English, of the comp.
Yeah, it is, Chris.
They can play around the side lane so easily.
Jarvan
Jarvan getting caught here.
In between of the 4 members, he flashes under the tower of the opposing team, but Sejuani finishes him off. Now the Urgot is the face of the Blitzcrank.
Getting
he
hooked.
knocks him up. Another ult silence, and now it's Malzahar ult. I think that's all over for this Urgot. This was a huge overextension. They just gave another 1000 gold lead back to running down mid, but in the meantime Tristana is just hitting this tower, while now she has to just run away.
That condemned though. So the issue with this comp as well is that if you want to play 1-3-1, you have to use proper communication. It's actually so crucial to pull out this comp, and we might see something on bot because they want to go on eSports.
It's so strange that they're even contesting this. Now you're 2v4, the teleport is coming in, Echo has to ult out, Tristana is main focus, she jumps out, Urgot actually taking the kill in the backline, Shen is coming right after them, but has to run away together with Sejuani. Can they defend this tower?
This guy is melting their faces. Urgot is so big.
Vayne is coming from the side together with Jaron. I think this fight should be over and the tower should fall, but they're refusing to give it away. Echo has teleport,
being
I
hooked.
think he will use it in a sec. Urgot is in between 3 members as Shen is in even worse position. Now the tower is under attack and it's sure to death. Another tower for Aston eSports.
They played beautiful. They didn't even dive here. They just needed to wait for the team running it down mid to overstep and like wait for them to do the mistake, honestly. So
Yeah.
crucial thing with this comp is if you have 1v1, if you have strong side lanes like this, you need to have proper communication. That's what I wanted to say. You need to use the rotations towards the side lanes. Maybe
Yeah,
like
Chris.
go for a dive like this, but I'm not a big fan of diving, you know? Not the big fan, because you can lose everything.
Yeah, and I mean, these kind of team comps, I have said multiple times that it's way harder to play, right? The split push comps, the 1v1 comps are way harder than just, straight up pick hyper carry or pick a team fight winning comp and play that way. So they're going the hard way, and so far it's not really paying off, I would say.
So like the hard way, I think if you like practice this a lot, then surely you can pull this out. If you didn't practice
Yeah,
it,
but
you should never go for that comp. Like it's so advanced, it's not easy to play. Just stick to a like usual 4-man with an engage tool on the jungle, like even something aggressive early on that can like manage to play around the 2v2 on mid. Here they just got outdrafted massively around 2v2 mid. Like you can actually see that they have no chance.
yeah,
At least for the next 10 minutes. If they manage to stall, Malta, he needs 2 items, 3 items, then they can win.
Lulu's out of position. The E lines now
lands.
into the hook and ultimate. Now Echo actually is in between 4 members once again, but he has that speed just to run out, and the team, the running down mid, had no CC left to combo him right after.
But they used so much. They even used the Malta ultimate just for a Lulu. I think it was okay to get like one
It
pick
just
here.
drags the game.
They have to be careful. They have to be careful from now on. Like, if they would stay, actually they have decent decision, because if they would like stay and go for the push, like they could have like, we could have seen like an aggressive play from Aston eSports. They could have been engaged on afterwards, because they don't have the big CDs. In their team comp, it's so crucial that they use Shen ultimate, Malta ultimate, and other than that they cannot use, like they cannot go for fights. They have to immediately run away. Because they cannot win as of now. They need to wait. They need to wait for their power spikes.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the thing is that Aston eSports actually doing some mistakes right now. They had a 5,000 gold lead at 8 minutes into the game, and now the gap, it haven't even widened. It's another additional 1,000 gold lead, more, but in essence, that 1,000 means way less, and the overall advantage is way smaller overall.
The gap is closing.
Yeah, the gap is closing between the teams. So
like every year.
Every year, every game. But enough with memes. I mean, they have to step it up a little bit and stop getting caught off guard, because the running down mid team comp actually excels at catching someone with Blitzcrank, with Malzahar. They have this single target catch and hard block, CC.
Yeah.
So
and catching them outside of the base is quite crucial in their team comp. So if they're going for something,
and now
like
Chris, we will see another fight. Lulu got hooked once again. I said that Lulu is a liability. If she's the only target that can really be hooked, and game and fight after fight she gets hooked at the start and just one shot. This Lulu has to step it up. She only has 2 deaths, but in last few minutes both of them happened, and this just stalls the game longer and longer.
Actually, like Blitzcrank right now having decent impact on the game. Before he like had quite a hard time, but now he actually is getting more and more useful.
He's finding the Lulu, and I think that's literally nearly only target that easily hookable, so to say. While Tristana can just jump out, and others, as I mentioned before, aren't really the best targets. But now Herald is on the focus of both teams. Can they get in time? Is Sejuani even coming to contest it? I don't think so. Yeah, this just means that another tower will be even heavier sieged with Herald buff. So I think they're shifting focus now to the mid lane, where they will use Herald if they successfully push in and nobody is contesting them.
I would say they shouldn't bring the Herald as of now. They should like wait it out for top side, because like if they have the cannon wave on top, using it on top to get like the base, that would have been would be the better play here. They
we
can
had
also
the,
abuse the empowered recoil before.
that is true. We had the caster vision though. We saw that the top laner and the jungler from red team, from team running down mid, was in the base, so it was actually a really good opportunity just to break down that tower. But obviously they didn't know it. So
playing really aggressive against 2. And actually they
oh,
used
now
the
they're
Rift
using
Herald.
it when all of the members are back, like defending. It's 5v5 ARAM currently.
Echo getting
being
hooked.
If he's stun locked actually, but it's just not enough. They didn't deal enough damage. He managed to jump out. Blitzcrank is already dead. Now Sejuani is in the middle of the enemy team. She has to flash away. Echo followed her up. One more auto attack finishes her off. Now Herald another charge at the inhibitor tower, and they're looking to do even more damage. That's already is done. You know, they did plenty so far.
And Lols, why even stay? Why not give this turret away? It doesn't mean anything. If they come into the base and try to go for the dive there, then you want to play. Then you want to go for the fight. I mean, play aggressive, you know? Like, there, I would say they just overturned, like, that was a big mistake, honestly, staying
I would say
there.
they had a decent plan. Hooking Echo into Malzahar ult so he's not able to move. But the problem is that they did not have enough damage. They are just way too behind. And Echo took all of this damage and still managed to ult, to come back, you know, way more healthy after the ultimate. And all of this burst from Malzahar, from Sejuani ult to the Blitzcrank whole combo, and Vayne's few hits was just, you know, mitigated. And that's why they lost the team fight, you know, in short, you know, just a summary, so to say.
So the thing is with Malzahar, like we mentioned before, he needs the 2-item power spike. Before that, you don't really have enough damage. Now with Vayne also being so far behind, she not even have 1 item finished, so there's no power spike coming in from there. And actually Hook
Oh, Lulu
misses
nearly got
on
hooked
Lulu.
once again, but no one was near close enough, only Shen. So that wouldn't ever be a kill, but maybe it would have forced the flash as Lulu probably would be scared. But
Would be
no.
fine actually to like get the flash from Lulu. If they manage to get maybe 1 pick, they can stall the game even longer. But they have to be careful now.
But the problem is that they are 10k behind, you know, that lead that they just had a few minutes ago snowballed even more, so now it's 10,000. And blue team, I think they should be looking to take this Baron down instead of trying to push. No, it's fairly early.
I think
really
they should
hard
thread
to
it,
push.
honestly. Actually, Jarvan getting hooked here? Yeah.
I don't think they're
gets away.
fighting.
Lulu
Lulu
is
is once again
Ooh.
in the wrong side of the neighborhood.
And actually Echo turns on. Okay,
Some
so
exchanges.
talking about this Baron, I think they should not go for the Baron here, Loris. They should like play around it. They should like give the right intention to the opposing team, to the team running it down mid, so baiting them into the area so they can make a play on them, you know? It's a bait call. They should always turn, because they, right now, with the Echo, they don't have enough damage compared to a usual control mage on mid lane. They could really burst down Nash if they have something like Cassiopeia, Malza, even Syndra,
Yeah,
something
I
like
agree.
this, you know?
I agree.
But here,
I agree.
you still want to look for the turn.
I agree that they might not be the fastest Baron taking team, but thing is that they're so ahead that they could just walk into the top side of the team running down mid jungle into the red side and get all of the vision and then just turn straight into the Baron and take it. As Blitzcrank actually was forced out, and meantime the Urgot is actually unchecked. He's really strong and Shen can't really hold him, and tower is already 1/3 health. So
you see,
another wave and it's
they
down
are winning massively on the side lane. There's no reason to play aggressive. Like this, you don't need to walk in here and force, since you're winning so massively on the side lane. All you have to do is manage mid priority, maybe even manage top side like Echo now, and don't get engaged on.
Actually, Vayne is rotating. Can this be a kill? 2v1. He's gonna take the tower. Now he's 1v2 Shen and Vayne against Urgot, but Shen has already flashed away. The Urgot ult misses. He flashes for the kill.
Can
now
he take
Vayne
2?
1v1. Mid lane fight in the meantime. Blitzcrank is already nearly dead. Vayne actually 1v1 Urgot in the end. And now 2 members in the mid lane of Team Running Down mid fighting.
Actually, Malza getting
of
engaged
the
on. No chance for
Aston eSports. And yeah, the mid laner is down. Vayne got healed by the mid laner, but no, that doesn't make any difference. As bot lane inhibitor now is going to be the main focus of the blue team.
Yeah, and big issue for them, they couldn't really like hold them into that area. If they would have like played around the jungle, or maybe like catch one on the free man when Echo was on top side, maybe then they could have won. But on the 4 men, they can't really win fights. Not as of now. And then Urgot winning on a side lane like this against Shen. Look at the like item disparity. They compare both, like even the CS, completely demolished.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than one item ahead, actually 1.5. And no, that's nearly the double the gold that Urgot has compared to Shen, so it's no wonder that the guy has a really hard time. And actually he nearly 1v2 them. He took the tower, took the Shen, and Vayne was close to dying too, so it would have been even worse. But you know, I'm not sure why Blitzcrank and others engaged on the mid lane while being behind and being a member down. So that turned out for the worst, as no, the Vayne actually managed to withhold the Urgot.
And actually, he's 3 level up here on Sejuani, and even 2 level up on Shen. And he might play too aggressive as the hook misses. So
I'm
close,
not sure
actually.
if that hook would be even good. He's just that strong right now
And
that he
tanky.
can probably tank it.
That's.
And now, as you
But
said,
what is it
Baron,
even? Like he looks like a mecha. Actually,
once
Blitzcrank
again,
getting
Tristana
engaged.
jumps in forward. She is not afraid. She has a reset. Can she jump for one more? Why is she afraid? Another jump. Now, 3 more auto attacks. Sejuani from the side with Vayne stunning Lulu, but is it enough? Vayne is 100 HP. Tristana is jumping forward. It's already 2 members
She
down.
gets
Actually,
away.
3.
Sejuani gets away actually with the plant.
Oh, that was close. And GG is actually in chat being called, but are they going to surrender? Probably not. As this Baron is now their main objective.
And actually, this Tristana, I think he could have played more aggressive if he would have been more confident. Just the like push, like jump forward faster. It was free. Like maybe even get the like the Sejuani lower, or maybe even a kill on her if they played around the plant before. But yeah, play more. Like right now, honestly, Aston eSports so far ahead. You just have to bring it home. All you have to do, like push down mid, push down top.
Running down mid.
Actually, like right now, there has to be a miracle for team running it down mid to get back into the game.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's when you have one inhibitor down, it's fairly hard. Even if you're even. When you have 2 inhibitors down, I think I saw that the win percentage with 2 inhibitors down is only 2%. So we are really coming close to that mark right now. I would say that they have 1 or 2% overall to win, maybe even less. It all depends if they can somehow catch the Tristana, which is monster already. Lulu just buffs him up and he's just hitting the tower so fast and so hard that it's really hard to withhold, I would say.
Definitely. Well, honestly, there were some games that I saw last year where like teams were really far behind. Or actually, never mind.
He just walks away.
He
casually walks away.
He had the QSS already, so that's really.
Now Sejuani has
really
stepped forward. Blitz is always looking for that Lulu hook. He's not focusing on anything else so far. And yeah, now one of the big ultimates are down in exchange for the quick silver slash. So maybe it's a viable trade, maybe not, but the towers are surely in their siege right now.
Well, like right now, they really have to massively overcommit here and go for the dive. Sejuani getting engaged.
So low. The Tristana is stunned in the backline, but Jarvan is 1v1ing the Vayne. Lulu is coming in. Tristana last auto attack finishes him off. Echo finishes Shen in the meantime, and now Tristana is just gathering all the kills that he can get. Triple already. Can he get the 4th one? Quadra kill for Tristana.
So sick.
So great feeling for him, most likely, as such a beast late game Tristana is. And now the surrender vote comes in, and 1-0. Aston eSports is up against running it down mid. I mean, great performance by the Russian team.
Yeah, well, honestly, I would say, first of all, execution was really nice, of course. Talking from the draft, we could already foresee that the mid lane would have been a big issue, because they cannot do anything against Jarvan Echo in the early game. So it was really crucial how Sejuani was playing around that. But honestly, get the lead on top side, dove him 2 times on Shen, like get ahead there. Beautiful execution from Aston eSports.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had a fairly hard group. You know, they had Iron Wolves who were disconnected. Obviously, that's not the big one, but they had Estonian Vipers there too, and they emerged as the number 1 seed, you know, in their group, and now they're showing why they are so great, you know. And I'm not sure if the Lithuanian team, if running down mid, can really come back, you know, after this fairly hard win with few mistakes. Some of them were on Lulu overextending, as he's the only one target that really can't escape. And apart from that, it was a fairly clean sweep, I would say.
So like we had some games in the last few splits, like for example in NALCS, I think it was Phoenix 1 versus like EFX or something, like Echo Fox, game 1 it was, where they still managed to come back. You know, some of these games are still winnable. It highly depends how you manage to like not be overconfident and like not play around your win condition. So that's quite crucial. And as we are speaking, like right now we are in the quarterfinals, right? So teams are actually much better. So I think in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
group stage we would have seen some big like we saw actually some mistakes playing around side lanes, not playing on win conditions, over committing, going for dives where you shouldn't dive. Like right now we won't see that anymore because we are already so far into this tournament. Only the best teams are here.
Yeah, I totally agree. And now, no, we will see the second game. If the running down mid can turn it around, we'll obviously have a third one to decide which of the two teams will be the winners of today. You know, which one of those teams will continue to the top 4. But for now, guys, stick around. We will have a short break and we will come back shortly for the game 2. Aston eSports against Team Running Down Mid.
And we are back. Let's hop straight into Gem Select. Second game. Now we have actually now we have team running down mid on the blue side and team Aston eSports on the red side. They pursue to first ban Tristana.
Yeah, I mean they probably had a little bit trouble with that, right? Tristana late game, especially when you're ahead, she's a monster.
Yeah.
And they were winning early game too, so that's no surprise. And now only target bans are coming in. Urgot, they didn't like that champion neither. So I'm not too surprised, but so many strong picks are going to be left wide open, and these niche picks might not be best bans. But now, on the other hand, the Aston eSports are banning the supports out. They didn't want to see Blitzkrieg again because they thought probably that was still somewhat a chance for the opposing team to come back. He was the reason why the game was prolonged to the extent that it was.
Well, there's a lot of stuff open. I wouldn't have said that Tristana was the issue. I would have said they still like they didn't have something strong around mid jungle. So you better like come up with something new. Right now, Galio being open, Jarvan being open. If they don't manage to pick one of the way, giving that to red side is quite troublesome. You can't
Okay,
actually.
so again, the Orianna ban from Aston eSports, they banned it last time, so it's probably just a target ban, as it would have fit, as I said previously, their own team comp. But maybe they don't play it, so now we will see. Actually, before the game, Aston eSports players, I think they had a sub or a change of a player, because they said they're playing with this lineup for the first time. I'm not sure if they were trolling or not, but might have been true.
I think they are trolling because they first picked Rakan, Jarvan, and Galio being open. That could have been taken right now. Then, of course, there's Gragas open, so you have something like in terms of disengage if they choose to do it like this. Now, actually, okay, that's some kind of smart that you pick the Xayah away because you don't want to give Rakan and Xayah. That's way too strong. Now you can decide if you want to have the Jarvan or the Gragas. I would say Gragas is not the strongest champion against Xayah. Basically, you can use your ultimate before completely deny the flash engage from Gragas, so they could be always safe with Xayah, you know. Actually choose to go for the Sejuani here. Quite interesting.
Yeah, and on the opposing side, we have Javan and probably Gnar. It's my guess that they will pick two.
They could pick that actually quite strong as well. Good that you mention it. Or they like want to stick to maybe they want to go for the combo. I would say if blue side managed to get Galio here, would be fine. There's still some counter picks open, so they have to like on one hand they have to be careful. On the other hand, if they can like use Galio to the strength and
I
play aggressive
think
on the side lane, they choose
they
Xerath. Oh.
yeah they banned the Galio last time themselves, so it's not that strange that they're not picking it
But
this
that's a
time.
blind pick Xerath. Oh, last time I saw that was like, oh man. Actually, we were in Turkey like scrimming against Vitality when they choose Xerath against us, and like honestly, the way how you have to play with Xerath is like you either want to poke, you never want to like leave your lane. So there's no way you want to play around mid lane here. And now for like Aston eSports, they've like so much time right now to think about what kind of champion they want to play into Seraph. There's so many options. If they choose to play something like they can, for example, they can play Vel'Koz, which can outrange. They can play something like Malza or something like Cassiopeia, something like Victor even. All good, all strong. Like probably Victor is better because you don't get as like outranged. Cassiopeia, you have to massively outplay him. So even Ari is pretty fine. Basically, you want to have something that can like play aggressive on side lanes, and also like where Xerath cannot like face check into, you know? For example, if you're playing against an Echo or an Ari, he cannot face check into this. So he's really limited. He has to stay on lane and never leave that. He
Hmm.
cannot go for roams basically with this champion.
That's true. And the thing is that they also hovered Zed. So
Hmm.
Zed could be a champion that would one shot or block Seraph. Another one of those, champions is Yasuo, which is being hovered also right now. So that would just mean that they are looking to punish the Seraph if they choose to pick that way. But we see Ornn. I mean, as I mentioned today a couple of times, he got buffed. I mean, other champions got buffed, but he got buffed too. So it's not that big of a surprise that he's being pulled out right now. And we'll see. I haven't seen an Ornn, in a tournament game so far, so I'm fairly, new to this. So looking to see what kind of impact he can do in the 5v5 instead of solo queue environment.
So I watched quite some games where I saw On being like played on top lane, so it's safe to say that he goes towards top here. And like this champion is actually really strong in the early levels compared to like what they want to play into that. So we have to wait for that. Actually, they choose to play. It's either Gragas being on top or Jarvan, one of those. So in either
I guess most likely Gragas. No?
Probably. In either way, I would say Ornn has the upper hand early levels, and then afterwards, after level 5, probably Gragas would have the upper hand. Actually, they choose to play. Oh, that's smart. That's really smart. They choose to play the stronger poke, and also where Xerath has to massively play around his stun. So if Jace managed to go melee onto Xerath, and Xerath misses his stun, he's into big trouble. You know, like he massively has to play around the stun, has to go for poke into that lane, and this matchup on the one hand is very one-sided.
Yeah,
So
it lacks magic damage actually.
definitely, but also like Xerath has the upper hand early on, but then as the game progresses, as Jace gets his first item power spike, he will have an upper hand. So we will see if this Jace is really strong, like in his mechanics, and if he can play around that, we might see something really like interesting, you know?
I
Because
actually think, yeah.
usually you would see Jace going towards top, not towards mid actually. That's kind of
Yeah,
outdated.
like the way I'm seeing these two team comps is on the left side we have Sivir, right, with Rakan, so and Jarvan Gragas, which usually just with the Sivir ult just wants to get in there, wants to brawl, and they have a Xerath shooting from the back, trying to be untouched. On the other hand, we have Sejuani and Lulu for a fairly good peel. So Sejuani in essence should just try to ultimate whoever is coming in near the Xayah and Jace, and Lulu actually does the same. Or, he has just a long range CC to counter even Serrat's ult, possibly, but overall it's also just a counter engage after the blue team is coming right after them. And what they have is Xayah and Jace, which are able to deal heavy damage into whoever is in front, right? So I think if these teams end up equal in the game, these team fights would probably shift to the red side's side overall. I would guess.
But Loris, the thing is, like, blue side's draft here. So team running it down mid, that draft is really a contradiction in itself because they have Sivir usually being played in a pick comp where you see 3 people on mid or
Yep.
like one guy out like standing in the river or something, you pop
Yep.
your ult, you run him down. Like you have Jarvan, you have Gragas, can really
Literally
go for it.
run
You
him
also
down.
have Rakan. You can like get in there, use flash, right? And then
Yeah, you
they
have
have
the ability
Xerath.
to reach
Yeah,
actually.
but then on the last occasion they have Xerath,
Yeah,
and he's
who
just
doesn't want
really
to go in?
yeah, he wants to poke. He doesn't want to have quick fights. He wants to
Yep.
have long, like sustained fights where he can really sit there, poke, and then at some
Yeah.
point, like use his. Okay, like you know what I'm talking about. His ultimate.
Yeah, I totally
Didn't
agree. I
want to
mean,
go into specifics.
you're totally right. And Seraph, as I said, movement speed is probably one of the strongest stats in the game. And Seraph actually doesn't benefit from movement speed from Sivir ult that much. And on top of it, he if someone gets in range of him, he's already in trouble, right? So movement speed is not that great for him, especially when trying to run at the opponents, which Sivir, ults actually do. So I totally agree that their team comp is kind of contradicting itself, is not on the same page. On the other hand, the red team has not much magic damage, so both of these team comps have a little bit of flaws. Which one of those have bigger, we will see right after the break. So guys, don't run around, don't leave the stream, and yeah, we'll see you in just a bit.
Let's hop straight into the game. And like maybe they want to play something, make a play on level 1 again. Like maybe get some deep vision in, if they choose to do so. I would say like team running it down mid still has the upper hand there if they choose to like go for the level 1.
I think you're right. They have Rakan for Master C, they have Gragas Body Slam,
Yep.
they have Xeraton even possibly and Boomerang from Sivir, but
The thing
they
is, you
have no
really
Blitzcrank.
don't want to start with the body slam level 1. You don't want to do that on top lane, honestly. Like it's fine. Actually, he did it. Actually, it's fine to do that. So they might want to go for play.
Yeah, but they're not even walking up, so I would say it's kind of strange that he took the Body Slam and they're not doing anything with it, so...
That's weird. Usually see people starting with the Q there. So maybe some miscommunication.
Or maybe he just didn't know which one to level up or has a different playstyle in mind, right?
No,
It's
probably,
possible.
yeah, probably. So if you choose to go with the body slam, it's fine as well, of course. So
Rakan is just checking whatever he can do, but I'm not sure why would he even go there to just ward, and like what information does it even give to ward over that wall instead of helping your jungler or pushing the lane? That's just
I think
don't
he
know.
wanted to see if they're starting blue, so they already like have information where Sejuani started. That being said, now they know that she's being on top side, so mid lane has intel on where he has to play around.
Yeah, but that's not from him warding there, right? It's just from the bot lane coming back and having not used any mana, or actually having not helped Sejuani, with the time frame.
That's
they were
true.
just too fast.
That's
so,
true. But on
overall,
the highest level, Loris, but on the highest level, they're actually sometimes even faking it and just using mana.
Faking it.
Yeah,
But yet again, that ward wouldn't help to show.
that's true. So, talking about what Jarvan should do, actually, Raka going aggressive here.
It was level 2 on the blue side, but now the red team also gets level 2. Exhaust is being used. Ignite in return. Now Xayah has to flash away. One more auto attack would do it, but can the AD carry flash?
1 second? Okay.
Oh, it was really close. And now Sejuani is coming from the side. Can they avoid the gank? She's already moving forward, not afraid to get spotted. Rakan is trying to turn it around. He still has the jump back, and I think they're safe to just run back to their tower.
And they get away without using the flash. That's really good. Actually, nice stun here from Xerath.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the exchange, between the Xerath and Jace. If he lands the stun, Xerath can actually win it. If not, he might be dead at some point, right? So
but the thing is, in the early game, we have usually one trade. If he managed to use the stun, then he will out-trade. If he not lands the stun, he will lose.
No, Sejuani's coming back from behind. The knock-up landed, but that was just it. The Xerath had to use his flash, so the escape is gone. He still has his barrier. So another flying from the side with lane pushing towards Jace would mean, a kill, but I'm not quite sure it can be done. But one thing is certain, that team running it down mid is actually doing way better early game than the last game. They're actually pressuring the bot lane. They avoided the gank in bot lane and mid lane. And yeah, in the CS wise, they are also doing fine, so props to them.
Early matchups, yeah, like we said before, they have easier time with Jarvan. Sejuani coming again, flashing forward.
Wow, this is just such a fast gank, but I mean, it was just a millimeter short as the flash from Sivir is being used. I mean, great attempt. He's trying to relieve the pressure from Xayah Lulu lane.
But really great attempt. I would say he just used the flash without gaining anything from that. Honestly, it's just the Sivir flash. Usually you want to have you want to go for the level 4, level 5. Getting the flash from Sivir right now not that beneficial, If you have a big stack wave and then manage to turn aggressive. Yeah. Actually, Jarvan making a gank.
He's looking for a gank. He missed his EQ combo, but now Xerath actually regained some mana. Can he land his final Q? And that's the first blood. What a surprise! Actually, first blood taken on Jace after Jarvan misses his combo. That's so great for them.
So, and Loris, now imagine Sejuani would have been around mid, and actually bot lane really... Oh, almost dead here. So imagine Sejuani would not have used his gank towards bot, and would have guarded towards mid, where he should have been at this point. I think then like he wouldn't be able to like die there, you know. So the thing is, like in that case, you don't want to gank towards bot when you have no CC available, because it's you high likely will not get anything out of it. You want to guard Jace, want to make sure that he has a good early phase. And actually, Gragas is almost dead.
Why is Gragas risking so much? He didn't flash even when he had only 10 HP left, and wow, this is just insane that this kill even happened. He should have been way far back. This game is actually wide open right now after this kill. The goal is actually dead even, and both of the teams are looking. One is playing through the mid lane, another is playing through the top lane so far, and we'll see which of the solo laners can actually do the bigger impact later on.
And there you really saw like the disrespect. He didn't know the damage of On, how much he can deal, and like immediately got surprised, got dove by him, and yeah, locked down. So for example, now there would be a good time to like gank towards bottom side, because they have stacked wave. They can maybe like lose some CS, or you also want to guard, because right now they cannot walk up anymore. And if they are smart and would freeze the lane there, they would never be able to get CS again. So it was.
And now the mid lane gank is already happening once again. The Xerath has no flash, so kill is happening. Really strange that it's not given to Jace, in my opinion, as the Xerath was dead 100%, but no, it's for them to decide. Now Lulu is the main focus in the bot lane. She's 200 health. The root from Xayah lands. Now Exhaust and Ignite exchange. Once again, heal is used by Sivir. Now can they finish this Xayah? She has no flash, only the heal up. She uses it as Rakan pushes her up. 100 HP by both members, and teleport
On comes in as well.
Wow, this fight was on the brink of the knife, on like turning to any side. It was so damn close. The Xayah lived below 50 HP, I think.
And actually, like I would say, Xayah being so far up, still managing to like play aggressive there. Most people just would have used a flash, like go defensive, go away. She trusted in her damage, trusted in Ludo's ability, so they couldn't like out-deal them, out-damage them.
I think she still didn't have flash at the start of the team fight. She just got it, right after, I think.
I think in the middle of it they had it, but yeah, like it was around that time where she was spiking. So the thing is, right now, like the laning phase on bot lane was super, like it was super good for them, for Aston eSports, because it was pushing against them again. They choose to go for the aggressive play then. So Sivir and Rakan would lose a lot of CS, Actually, looks like they are swapping. So Ornn is playing on bottom side now. They choose to play aggressive on Jarvan here.
Jarvan just EQ'd over the bush, over the wall, and he found no blue buff, only Sejuani to come, and now Jace Q to finish him off. Xerath is once again out of position. He has flash, he has barrier. He uses one of them and gets away safely.
And now they're playing around top side. They can either go for a dive here, if Gragas goes under the turret, and look at the CS difference. He's behind again. And oh my god, he's walking under it.
Ornn is definitely MVP of these games, like the face melter guy, but now look at the Lulu. She's tanking damage, she's working for the team, as it was just perfect tank. Xayah is low health, Lulu is low health, but nobody died, they got the kill, and now they're pushing the tower down.
And now the only question that is there for me, why is team running it down mid not doing the same on the bottom side? Why is Jarvan on top side right now? Makes absolutely no sense to me. So right now
he wants to get that sweet Gromp crest.
I see. Aston eSports being ahead again. And actually Ornn going aggressive, getting the kill on Rakan? Can he manage to get the kill on Sivir as well? Spell Shield being available, flash available. He won't get the kill, right? The spell shield still up. Oh my god. He's actually not using his spell shield or anything, not using his flash. What happened there?
I'm not quite sure in the team fight what happened, because actually a little technical issue. I got client crash, so I'm reconnecting, Chris. It's all up to you right now. You're the big star.
Maybe you were not the only one, because Sivir wasn't using anything there, and she would have gotten away. So maybe he had some client issues as well. Who knows? So right now, like topside vision is secured for Aston eSports, looking really good for them. Like they play beautiful around the vision, setting up the Drake next is the next big thing for them. And like right now, Lulu should be careful by like doing everything on her own. Usually would see that Lulu would group up with the jungle, going for the vision together, and that's just what they're doing right now. So they're counting on someone face checking on the bottom side. Maybe even want to dive to Xerath right now.
Yeah, Xerath has no flash. Once again, he's put in so many difficult situations.
misses.
Sejuani ult missed by a slither, and now he's under siege by 4 members. He has to just leave his tower, leave his jungle, and just run off to wherever he can, where he would find any safety from these aggressive wolves coming after him.
No, Rakan is moving up, Jarvan is moving up, Gragas as well. They might want to turn here and might want to go aggressive.
This
Actually,
tower
Cast comes!
siege. Wow, this
Rakan
is
is here.
going to be a great team fight for the blue team. The chase was already focused so hard down, but just missed barely. Jarvan great ultimate. What is this ultimate for Xerath? He's melee rage ultimating them, but no kills happening for the blue side. They had
Sylvia
a great
walks up
start,
as well.
but one auto attack and she walks away.
Actually, the ult usage from Xerath was way too early there. If he would have waited a bit longer, no, look at the poke that landed. If he would have the ult now, maybe like get 1 kill, maybe even get some flashes off, And Ornn trying to go for the flank here, as there is no teammate anymore on the map. Should be careful
look,
here.
he's taking no damage whatsoever actually.
Spell sheet comes in. Actually, good spell sheet at this time. Can you see the damage from Ornn?
He's so damn tanky. I think he's just... Yeah, he's 3 levels up on the carry and 4 on the support. So he's just a machine right now, which probably can't really be stopped. Yeah, Rakan's stun is not landing, and he is engaged against 2 members under tower. Both got knocked up, they're super low. He's taking so much damage from tower. Ignite is ticking, he just has to turn around. As Sivir uses heal and Rakan used the ignite.
And actually Sejuani's coming in, she has the ultimate. Can they get Rakan? Yes, flashing after it. Where's the Sejuani
he's 100 HP running away, and that's the finisher. The AoE ult stun had to finish low health Rakan, and now can they dive this tower? 3 members are stacked up. Sejuani
They
is coming
want
in
to.
hard.
Oh my god.
Lulu ult is big here. Jarvan is turning around.
Oh, Xerath with the double
kill.
Ooh,
Wow,
turning it all around.
That was the big turnaround.
And just won the A.
His
Nice.
Arcana pulls just the double kill, and now he finishes off it with his final blow.
And actually, Jarvan like has his flash up soon. Do they want to continue going for that?
Oh, he could have done the flash play, and I
Cataclysm.
think that would have been a kill.
Well,
He still
the
had
flash is
Cataclysm,
not up yet. But Cataclysm.
Oh, the Gragas has his ultimate. Can he push the Sejuani
He's
back?
juking it.
Oh, he
Teleport
hit
is coming
down.
in. Juking everything.
Oh, nothing is actually hitting. His 1v3 against the Jarvan combo is the one that actually seals the deal. And they finally win this team fight quite convincingly. They were 5,000 gold behind now. They're only 3,000 behind. And this was a great
for
comeback.
1 second, I actually thought that Sejuani gets away with it, then they can turn around and the TP comes in. I believed in the play,
Actually, he dodged every single hit apart from Jarvan combo and Gragas ultimate. So it was well done by him, but he was just a little bit too low.
Actually, the thing is, like, it all started with the dive, sort of, on mid lane, and Ornn playing really aggressive. If you would have managed to hit the double, like, knock up with his E and with his ultimate, I'm sure that, like, Sivir and Rakan both would have been dead in the first place. Sadly, didn't hit it, and now look at the damage on bot. She cannot hold him, actually. Has to be careful.
Oh.
Ultimate comes in, no spell sheet available, and
he
no
is
chance.
doing really well on the Torn. He knows the champion.
Tearing
well.
him apart, yes.
He's melting his face for sure. No, and yeah, so many memes. But now the Herald is being used in top lane. Actually, it's going to hit the tower, but
There's
what's
no
off
CS.
it? Yeah, it's going to hit it once, and 3 more auto attacks from it. It's actually half health done to the tower, so I'm not quite sure it was worth to use the Herald already.
Sort of a mistake, a desperate call, I would say. Like, as of now, they have to be very decisive once again. They need to get defensive vision and like wait for Aston eSports to like
Look at the
overstep.
Xayah top lane. She's just pushing the tower. Jarvan is coming in, but he's level behind on Xayah. And yeah, she has the backup right now. So this tower is falling down super fast. The blue team is not rotating whatsoever. And now they do, but it's already too late, as Aston eSports are just leaving the party as they got what they needed.
And in the meantime, Xerath was like going towards the bottom side, losing his flash there. You saw that he cannot really go to side lane.
Xayah is engaging on Sivir. She still has spell shield, blocks the snare. Now Rakan is such a bad position, but
Landing
still
this
he
time.
has the long range escape, and yet again he uses it to get away. But Xayah flash auto attack to finish it off. Lulu uses his ult. Xerath is once again coming in from the backline, finishing off the job. Now the ultimate, can he do it? Actually no, it was fairly close, but I think it's for the next time that he's going to finish something off with it.
And actually they went super aggressive, really like great like attempt from Xayah to outplay here, but did they really want to dive there? A bit
Yeah.
overextending, a bit too overconfident. Well, yeah, like they might thought that the Xerath was still bottom side. Usually
I think
with the Xerath you really want to stay on mid lane. This is where you belong, my friend. You don't want to go to a side lane.
Yeah, I mean, the Aston eSports already had few mistakes done, and those are diving the opponent team, not giving them enough respect. And I think once they stop these dives, the game is just going to be, finishing way faster. So it's all up to Aston eSports to focus and stop diving, members of team running down mid, especially when Xerath is untouched in the background, when he excels, at hitting people in the backline of the opposing team.
So that's actually like that's the contradiction right now. Actually, Jarvan tries to go for the steal, has to go out again with the flash. The contradiction of this comp, Lawrence, is that right now Xerath is being ahead, so they have to play around the poke. But in the meantime, on bottom lane with the Silver pick, with the Rakan pick, they actually want to look for fights, And that's
Yeah,
what they
true,
did for
true.
the last few minutes as well, looking for fights where they don't really want to. So you can already see like the small mistakes in champ select translating to the rift and how the game progresses. We're almost like hitting mid game. It's almost 20 minutes into the game, so they still lack. Actually, on getting engaged on bottom side.
Now
Can he go for the
3-1.
2-man?
Can they finish him off? The stun into knock-up into another knock-up, and Sivir is down. He's 1v2ing them. Now Rakan is coming with Seraph. I think Ornn is just going to leave this party, but once, the blue team turns around, he turns around too, and now mid lane, top lane and bottom lane were focused as Xayah rotates down to the mid lane, and they're taking the mid tower down.
Ooh, I mean, beautiful play by Ornn, of course. He knows exactly how much damage he deals. Actually, amazing how much he can, like, put out. And
Yeah,
now
he's
Jarvan going
tanking the tower
aggressive.
right now. If he had an ult,
Can
I
he go
think it
for it?
would be another kill.
Actually,
He is
Sejuani
dealing
fighting it.
so much. Ooh, yet again, Sejuani is trying to snipe the kills with his ultimate, and Chase yet again finishes it right after the Sejuani ult. So this combo is working out great for them. And now it's Siege 4v5. Ornn is already half health back, he has still mana to spare. 2-man knockup, can he do anything about it? They
They
decide
don't
not
really want to go for the dive here. No, no, no. And
They
actually,
already-
the poke comes in.
Oh, Jace, can he land the combo from the side? He's looking for it. He's coming right around. He gets the Sivir
Hits it.
now. He's 1v2ing them, and Jace is actually out of mana. Can he finish
Oh.
him off? The Ornn ultimate hits him, and it's a trade between the mid laners. Both of them go down. Rakan gets the kill and the red buff, but he's alone with Jarvan coming in right after him. And now Xayah is so aggressive. She's trying to get the kill. She does. She's 100 HP. Ornn is coming
She
in.
lives.
Beautiful stun by him, and now Jarvan is close to the double kill for Xayah.
And complete demolition here from
Yeah,
Aston
ace
eSports.
and another tower.
Oh my god. Like, honestly, going for the dive was so risky, but still they managed to pull it out without ultimates. Just, like,
Chase did a
showing
great
that they're
play.
so far ahead, yeah.
He ran around, finished Sivir, finished Xerath, took the Rakan, Rakan was there to withhold him also, so 3 members for 1 and he killed 2 of them. And then Xayah comes in, finishes Rakan, finishes Jarvan, double kill for her, and Gragas is just not tanky at all to survive the damage from the rest of the Aston eSports. So he melted really fast, although he's buying full armor, doing it properly, but he doesn't even have the boots finished and he has Tormail already. I'm not quite sure that's the way you build armor.
So like he's so far behind, he cannot hold on the side lane as well. Honestly, if I would give an MVP award, I would give it to On, basically, or based on how much impact he had during this game.
And
like
the last
hitting
game,
his stuns, hitting his knockups, amazing so far.
Urgot last game was super great and super vital, for splitting and killing people 1v2, and he's actually doing the very same thing. He's 4 levels up on his counterpart. He's 100 CS, literally 100
Flame Horizon.
Yeah, up on his opponent. And he's not stopping. The gap is even becoming even bigger, so he's not even afraid to
actually,
go forward.
He has to flash from the ult attempt from Sejuani here. Great,
Sejuani
actually.
is doing great.
Yeah, great way actually. Now, like with Seraph without the flash, they can manage to go for the next dive.
The minions are so far away. I don't think they can make it before he comes back. But it was a great attempt.
It only takes 1 minute for him to have his ult again, and they can actually approach the dive here. They can either choose to play around Baron and
I
actually
think they should go for Baron
getting
once
caught
more.
here. Never mind.
They're just, and I don't know. It's hard for them to break the towers, and the Baron is just just bait your opponents in. If they do not come, just finish the Baron. You are so tanky, you can tank it easily, but they decide to dive once again. They're not stopping with the dives whatsoever. It's 1 kill already happening. 1, 2, 3. All of the members are so low. Now the Seraph is running away for his dear life. The Kraken is by him, but it's 4 men dead for the blue team. As I said, it's hard for them to break the tower. They do it quite easily. And this game, I think, is coming to an end quite soon. Pretty soon.
Actually, 23 minutes into this game, 8:25 for Aston eSports. Like, they're looking to close this game out, and there's actually no chance. Unbeaten.
Yeah, so far they're doing so great in this tournament. First Nexus Tower falls, the second one is coming right after. The Ornn is juking the stuns from Gragas and the ultimates, and yeah, he didn't want to go into the pool. And the Nexus is the only survivor from the mid lane, and they're looking to finish it off. Can they actually do it? They have to be really careful.
Actually, they can't end here.
Oh my god,
they're turning it around?
Sai is trying to 1v4 them, and can she do it? It's Lulu and Sai against 5. She's very low. Lulu is already dead. She's 1v5, knocked up, and finished right after. Wow, they actually tried to clutch this, and Nexus is below half health. I think if they just focused it would have been over.
And actually, on TPing in, is he trying to go for the play? Is he trying to end this game on his own?
He should have recalled at the start and TP'd in before the enemy team respawned, and then he would have managed to do it. But now he's in between 5 members. He's trying to 1v5 them. He missed his ult. He didn't catch it. So now it's a big issue for him. He can tank a lot. Can he get at least 1 member? No. It was very close. Gragas walks away for probably 10 HP or something like this.
And maybe it's the wrong time to go for these montage plays. Like, as of now, they're really going far too confident, far too aggressive in, like, shouldn't actually, like, use the TP there, because there was no member available. They should play around the Baron, really, like, closing this game out without giving anything to team running it down mid.
I mean, some friendly banter going between the teams in the chat, but, the blue team is taunting the red team that they only need few more kills to come back into this game, so they're asking to keep on doing this, but I'm not quite sure that's gonna be enough. But
since I know this would happen, I already turned the chat off, Loris, because this is what sometimes in scrims happen as well. A lot of banter going on in between teams, of course,
yeah,
like some distraction.
It is fairly fun to see, especially now that the resets were happening. None of the teams were fighting, so you have a minute to chat around, before the red team gathers around and comes back for another push. Now they're looking at the bot lane. They're trying to push in mid lane at the same time, so they should either rotate to bot lane right after or go for that Baron. So let's see what they decide.
Totally true. As they're hitting on Xerath.
Oh, another engage. the Sejuani is stunned from the side. Rakan is low. Xerath has to run for his dear life. He's on the side. Now
Actually,
Gragas
Gragas-
is the main focus for the Xayah. She takes him down. I think she wants more. Lulu has the speed still up.
That's
Can
the
he
game.
get in range to get sped up and finish the job as Sivir is being zoned away? Yeah, she's being though under tower. Xerath just came back. He's low already. Jace too deep. Xayah
What?
too deep. What is going on? They still have Ornn to come back. Lulu is taking heavy damage. 100 HP. The Sejuani is 100 HP.
Actually, Xerath with the
Xerath is
triple?
coming back from the ball. Yeah, can he get a penta here though? I don't think so. The Ornn is just way too strong. Sejuani is looking for the Nexus. She gets hit once and turns around. Ornn feels like a mortal person right now. While the carry is not there. Now he's 1v4. Can't he finish him off? Finally, he's 100 HP and the Gragas takes the kill.
And what is happening? This game was won up until the point where they were walking onto the fountain. What are they doing? They can just finish the game.
Second time they do this, and
And actually,
I'm not sure.
as you were speaking of it in the chat, the viable strat, like taunting your enemy, and they are like completely like going for it. They're giving some kills back
Yeah,
to them.
now they're saying to for the red team to report themselves for intentional feeding. So, I mean they're trying hard to get on the nerves. I think it's a viable strategy. In sports to try to make your opponents a little bit angry to make more for them to make more mistakes. And now Jace, speaking about mistakes, he's out of position. Flash from Rakan. He's knocked up and stunned once again. Now he's in between 4 members, and Jarvan takes the kill. Another big mistake by Aston eSports. I think they're starting to feel the pressure. It was just the jokes, but now it's getting real. The blue team is coming back into this game.
So we have to see. They might want to like go for Sejuani here. Like honestly, with Seraph, you can't face check into Baron area or into an area where you have no vision. And as of now, they have no vision on top side, no vision
Yeah.
around Baron. So the Baron was really free.
And they
Like-
have no blue trinkets. They have to face check this in order to see if it's being done or not. Now red team realizes that, and they turn around. They trying to fight 4v5.
Rakan being
Jace has
really
no
on the
TP.
opposing side shouldn't be there. They could go for a play here.
I
They
think
still-
blue team should have tried to find and engage. They have this, this team comp that we talked about that has some tools, but it's
But
already
Rakan was
too
just
late.
not there, Loris. He was just on the complete
Yeah.
other side.
So that's probably a little bit of a mistake by him. Now Sejuani once more the ultimate. Xayah flashes in, finishes off the mid laner. Now the AD carry is falling right after. Another flash from Sejuani. Double kill for Xayah. Can she finish the Gragas for the triple kill? He flashes away. Few more auto attacks. Triple
game.
kill by Xayah. Now she's chasing more, but decides not to. And they think, well, let's end this game finally. And
Well, and
This is
that's like
not going to-
Xerath with Flash being caught on mid lane by Sejuani, and that means the game. Like
yeah,
honestly, like they
Sejuani
deserve
did
to
great.
win. They deserve to win, but like 5 minutes ago, 2 times not managing. Now they're actually not going for it, right? Not going for the fountain. Still Jace goes back to like to
back
the
to
death
the
pool.
roots.
Back to roots. That
And
game.
now finally,
GG.
the Nexus falls. The Aston eSports takes the win. Great game by them. I mean, Sejuani did really fine. She found the engages on either the mid laner most likely in most of the occasions, or any other member was a viable choice as they were so ahead. They found their way to finally break the base and finally kill the Nexus after 2 unsuccessful attempts. But today, they are the winners. They are victorious. They finished this series 2-0, and Aston eSports are going into the top 4, while running down mid are going into the losers bracket, and they still have the chance to come back, for the LAN, to come back for those first places. So we will see if they manage to pull it off. But today wasn't their day. Although they fought back, they tried it hard, but still, it was well played by both teams, and congrats to Aston eSports.
So that means that next time we will probably see LCL Dropouts versus Estonian Vipers, but also coming into the semifinals we will see Gameplay DNA against Aston eSports, and that means we have like 2 of the strongest teams in this tournament going against each other. So we have the they're a Russian team, right? Aston eSports.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have a Lithuanian team going against a Russian team. And I would say, like, for myself, speaking of myself, Gameplay DNA being my favorite team, like in terms of how they played over the last few weeks. Would probably give it to them as a favorite in this tournament. But still, Aston eSports having a great showing today, like really showing that they pulled out like almost clean games. The last one, I would say, well, they had some fun in the end, did some
Yeah,
banter,
for sure.
really point on that. One thing that I want to mention though is that in the second game, it wasn't as clean as the first game. Sejuani not really playing around the right side, like one gank towards bottom side, which should not have been like this. They should have played around mid, around Jace. So I already see some mistakes. So I would still say, like, progressing into this tournament, looking at semifinals would give it away to gameplay DNA, you know? But
Yeah.
like we will of course see. Like let's not get too ahead of ourselves. First,
Yeah.
we have to see LCI dropouts and Estonian Vipers first.
Yeah, we will see who's going to contest each other. But now we only finished the second day of top 8, so we still have 2 more days for top 8 games, which will be, as you mentioned, LCL dropouts against Estonian Vipers, and we have Kenti versus Falcon Gaming, the Latvian team. So quite an interesting games to come, right after. And once these teams play against each other, we will see those top 4 teams face one another. And in my eyes, it's just getting better and better after that.
Definitely. Like I would say the next 2 like games would be fairly like even in terms of both opponents, and then afterwards coming into semifinals we can really see some high strategy, like really decent teams coming into like the games. They are all stacked when it comes to talent, so might see some sneaky strats. And then of course the final in December in Vilnius. I'm
Yeah.
quite surprised for that, like what teams will be like preparing for that, because then
Yep.
it's offline, and offline is always, it matters the most there. People will go in for cheese plays, they will have some strats prepared. I just know it. I can feel it already.
Yeah. But that's it, guys, for today. We will see you back on Monday on the November 13th, 7 o'clock Lithuanian time. And yeah, we will have way more games, we will have better games, we will have more teams face each other. We will see who prevails and who goes forward from this point. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in with me and Chris. And we had great games today, and just looking to even better looking forward.
I've been waiting for a chance, and I think it's